Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, organics of all ages. I'm Double R, and in this video we have two major topics to discuss, and both somewhat recent, within the month, within the 30 days. Whew, I'm actually getting caught up on being updated and current. And for me, that's a thing, because I usually talk about, quote, current events 6 months later, which means they're not current, but So topic one, cuties, and the problem that, well, the backlash against cuties. So to get to that, we must deal with the 5 defenses. Defense 1. Young men who are arguing about cuties. When was the first time you've dealt with porn? Stop, cease, desist. We're going to stop that whole argument right there. We're just going to cease right there. Reason being, this has, 1, nothing to do with the outcry. 2, it is a different discussion altogether. 3, that would have to take into effect the other arguments, and that doesn't hold water here. So this conversation is stopped right here because of the expression difference between what guys do when they first get a hand on porn and what is going on that caused the backlash in the first place. So argument 1, dead in the water. Argument 2, let's go. Argument 2 is, I'll have y'all know that the director is a woman of color. Stop, cease, desist again. I'm not even going to continue this, because that is not part of the backlash at all. Has nothing to do with it. Good try. This argument's dead in the water. Surprise, surprise, is an SJW NPC argument. So, surprise! Dead in the water. That's 2. Third defense. Bring it. Defense number 3. These young girls are stunning, sexy, brave, courageous, living their best life, yada yada, blah blah blah. Yellow Flash did a video on cuties, and this was the defense that popped up there. So in the description down below, Yellow Flash's video about cuties. Near the end of the video, the tweet about this comes up. And the reason why I'm not using tweets is because I don't want people to be hounded about it. But that's the defense there. And if you really want to find a tweet, you can go to Yellow Flash's video about it. And I almost threw up a little bit in my mouth when I had to say the word sexy, but that's part of the thing. And point missed. It's not about them living their lives. That's the problem. Not the problem. Focus. Next. Okay, I'm getting a little angry, which means I'm touching the taboo insanity, so we're going to step back for a minute. Okay. Defense 4. Let's go. Defense 4 being, how are you going to judge a movie when you haven't even seen it yet? Hi. Who? That's a good point. However, you are so far the current defense that has actually touched the problem of the outrage. You touched it. You've got your hand on it. You're up. You're blocking the shooter. You're right there in his face. You're blocking him. Okay. Good. You're in the strike zone. Yes. Now we can address this as a discussion. How can someone choose to make a judgment about a movie without having seen the movie? The marketing that was put out. Let me explain what I mean by this. The messaging in the marketing, or the messaging in the marketing in this case, is very important. As I've stated in my master class of character creation and development and all that, and I stated before that when I was talking about Gemini Man and the death of originality, and why Clownfish TV didn't want to discuss Gemini Man. Again, Clownfish TV does good work. But the reason why they didn't want to discuss Gemini Man was because to them, the trailer looked boring. Ergo, in their view, the movie would be boring. I sent a screenshot of the Rotten Tomatoes score of Gemini Man to Clownfish TV. They said, yeah, they don't care. And in so many words, they don't care because it looked boring. To be fair, the trailer did look boring, which actually holds to the barometer. Just keep that in mind. The trailer holds a lot of weight to something that you do not know of. You're going to be basing your opinion on the trailer. The trailer for Cuties will also be in the description down below. And to save your soul, you might want to go ahead and start practicing whatever religion you want to practice to clarify and cleanse yourself, because the messaging in the trailer, let's just say the normal, average person is not a fan of the messaging. Now to defense 5. Did you know this movie, Cuties, this movie was made by a woman of color wait, before you negate my discussion, who was trying to bring to light Western civilization's fascination with sexualizing kids in the media, for social media, things of that nature. That. Singing, dancing, entertainment, marketing, all that. This movie was supposed to bring to light that problem. Defense 5. I like you, Defense 5. I like you a lot. The problem is the marketing. Let me get into detail on this. The outrage came from the marketing of Cuties. Netflix had a poster up, which looked like something from Dance Squad competitions, where 4 girls are wearing a dance troupe uniform. Yeah, where even idols in Japan are sitting there going, okay. Point being, they're wearing that. They're wearing stuff like that, okay? They're wearing... The problem came not from the fact they're wearing it, but the postures they have taken. The postures they have taken are based on, well, dancing. Certain kind of dancing. In fact, they describe the dancing down below in the summary. In fact, here's the original advertisement. I'm just going to go ahead and do it and get it out the way, because I've already thrown up enough in my mouth to where I can't taste it anymore. Here we go. That's the picture. That's the original advertisement. A twerking dance group. For those of you who know what twerking looks like, but don't know what the definition of twerking is, 11 to 13-year-olds, 11, 12, 13, dance troupe, twerking, son of a... Nope. There's that warning. Okay. Move the taboo insanity away. Stay on topic. Stay focused. Back to point. It is a twerking dance group. Then they decided to change the artwork and the description to this. Now, for those of you who have seen the trailer, you kind of know that it looks kind of bad because that makes them look abusive as all get out. There's so much wrong with that trailer. Anyway, the point is, that is where a lot of this backlash came from. The trailer and the advertisements. Now, Netflix could just be trying to promote that message from the director. They could be trying to promote the message. Hey, look what we're doing. We're doing the very thing this movie is talking about. Maybe that's what they're doing. Or, second option, they didn't know any better. The person didn't watch the movie. They just saw 4 girls twerking and went, oh, I know how to spin this. Boom. Advertisement ahoy. I know how to spin it. Woohoo. No, stop that. Or option 3, Netflix knew exactly what it was doing and was trying to advertise to certain people. In maybe a vain attempt to try to get them to change their ways. Who knows? Who cares? In so many words, this all looks like Pedro, murdering the R in the word Pedro, bait. Now, why is this a topic to bring up? I agree with the outrage. Again, this is why Clownfish TV didn't watch Gemini Man, because the advertisement for it gave the impression that it would be this way. If the advertisement said it's going to be boring, you're going to presume the movie is boring, ergo you're not going to go watch the movie because it's going to be boring. So if the trailer and the summary and the whole picture and all that all says, hey, this is Pedro minus the R bait, why would I want to watch that? Me personally? No. But that's the advertisements that were put out by Netflix. Doesn't matter if it's to the message or against the message. Doesn't matter at this point. That's your advertisement that you put out there. I'm out. And that's where the outrage came from. A lot of people were saying the same thing. Oh, what? Netflix, what are you doing? Oh, hell no. Why do I bring this up? I bring this up because of a somewhat current topic. Topic 2, Uzaki-chan, and the lack of understanding of culture in terms of anime. Let me explain this. There's a break in general anime. There's the general anime itself. People know this, like Ghibli and all that. Studio Ghibli, where it's nice and it's pretty and it's pretty straightforward and things are good and there's nothing to worry about in the context of, well, Cuties. It's pretty much based on story, it's story driven, it's to get the point across, messaging, yada yada, the whole nine. And it looks good in the process. That's general anime right there. Story driven, just getting stuff out. Okay. Then there's ecchi. Ecchi is your softcore version of porn. Lingerie? Yeah, sure. Does it show actual boobs? Not really, but it will show under boob, Australian cleavage. It will show normal cleavage. It will imply a lot of things. It will have girls sucking on lollipops. It will have girls sucking on ice pops. It will be people sounding like they're getting off on eating food. You get the idea. Ecchi is within that zone where there's a lot of implied, but you're not actually seeing anything sexual into it. There's not things going into people going, ha-ha, bear a kid. No, not that. Then there's hentai, or the porn side of anime, and that's when things start entering places that they really should not be. They are also the place where the whole tentacle porn came from. Tentacles. That's the thing. Hentai was a thing. In fact, there's many series where most of the monsters are considered just tentacle monsters. Monsters walking around with 3 tons of tentacles. Akideros probably loves those. I'm just saying, tentacles are a thing. And mostly because of hentai. Things going into places that they really shouldn't be going into. Unless you want to have an OnlyFans or be on Pornhub. Well, can't be on Pornhub. You get what I'm saying. That's the porn side. Uzaki-chan falls within ecchi. There is a lot of implication in her case. For example, sitting on a massage chair and sounding like she's getting off on the massage chair. Getting stuck in the bushes, where she's pretty much emulating the whole Pornhub, help me, stepbrother, I'm stuck in the washer kind of thing. You get the idea. There's a lot of implied. Heavy implication, light implication. There's a lot of implication in ecchi. But she looks young. Let's deal with that. Now that we hit the classification of what Uzaki-chan falls under, the heavy fan service version, or ecchi, we are going to deal with her looking young. Let's deal with the basics. The basics being as such. In Japan, currently, there is a 23-year-old model who stands at about 4'10", no heels. So 4'11", almost 5 foot if you add heels. She goes by the name of Ramu. Capital R, little a, capital M, little u. Obviously, it's a stage name. She is 23 years old, stands under 5 foot. Her cup size, her bra cup size is H. Why do I bring this up? Look at Uzaki-chan. Around what, 5 foot? Maybe? Let's get the official numbers. Uzaki-chan. Height. If I didn't know better, since Ramu has been around for at least 4 years, and Uzaki-chan seems fairly recent, I would almost bear a striking guess that Uzaki-chan, at best, would be representing Ramu. At best. At best. This means there is actually a real-life person with that body type. At best. At worst, it's just an ecchi model. Short girl, big boobs. But she still looks young. She looks young because she's short? No, her face. Let's deal with that part. Here's a picture of Ramu. This is how she typically looks during her photo shoots. Remember, she started her photo shoots at the age of 19. So, at the youngest, this picture is her at 19. That's being very nice about the situation. This is me dropping the age as far as possible. That said, did you notice something? This is a real life person who looks this way. That's the look on her. That's her face right there. No editing. I just zoomed it in so you can see it better. No editing there. Young looking face, right? So let's go back to Uzaki-chan. For those of you who don't understand how the anime thing works in terms of the artwork, we are going to address the eyes. The eyes are probably the big thing that are setting all people off. Razorfist made a joke about it, calling them windshield wiper eyes. They're like the size of a windshield wiper. They're the size of the windshield. Those eyes. He made a joke about that. The point is, which he knows as well, but he was making a joke. Tee-hee, jokes. The point of the big eyes is to represent the character as friendly. Some character that you can approach and talk to. If you happen to be an anime character and you saw Uzaki-chan walking down the street, her big eyes will tell you she's a friendly character. You can at least talk to her. You can interact with her. Let me explain why I'm bringing this up. Dragon Ball! Not Z, but Dragon Ball. I wanted to hold that off just so you can hear it. This is the character known as Launch. Dark hair, seems like a sweet girl. Most of y'all who have seen Dragon Ball understand she's a sweet girl. Until she sneezes. And then she becomes the prototype Super Saiyan. That's what she looks like after she sneezes. She has a split personality, and to get back to her sweet self, she has to sneeze again. So, let's go ahead and look at the sweet version of Launch, and put her side by side with the aggressive version of Launch. You notice something? The eyes, right? The sweet version having wider eyes, and the aggressive version having narrow eyes. Maybe that's just to tell a character's mental status in one character. Sure, I can hear that. I can hear that argument. Goku, Vegeta. Vegeta is technically a good guy. He is classified as an anti-hero, much like Piccolo. Did you notice their eyes? And for contrast, here's Gohan. Here's Gohan as a kid. Now, who are the characters you can walk up to? Again, Goku, Gohan, Sweet Launch. And who are the people you probably want to avoid or avoid pissing off? Piccolo, Vegeta, Angry Launch. That's what the eyes do in Japanese anime. The wide eyes are meant to be friendly. The more narrow eyes are meant to be more aggressive. Less friendly. Almost villainous. Scary even. This is why American comics do poorly in Japan. Because even the heroes come off, well, unfriendly. Batman's supposed to scare people. Batman does a good job in Japan. He doesn't look friendly to them, so you can imagine how well that does. Now, when people understand the concept, they might go back to it and go, okay, we get it. Now, maybe after a couple movies show him as being a good guy and whatever, then they'll be, oh, okay, well, after we start getting an idea, we'll take it up and we'll actually pay attention. But this is why American comics do poorly, especially in Japan. The eyes, they state a lot. So now that I've done the classification for the anime in general, just general terms, not the actual definitions, just generalized terms, and I point out the whole thing with the eyes and the face and showing that, yeah, some Japanese people do look like that, we go back to Uzaki-chan. She is ecchi classed. She has wide eyes. And the wide eyes, or the windshield wiper eyes, or the windshield eyes, sorry, are what make her look young. Now, y'all can have a whole different debate about lolicons and all that bullshit. That's its own thing. That's another division. That's its own thing. But just because a character's face looks young does not necessarily mean they are that young. Uzaki-chan is 19. That is her age. Age is not just a number. Do we understand this? Just because she's short doesn't mean she's a kid. Just because she has a young face doesn't mean she's a kid. Because again, the Japanese seem to have that weird level. That's what anime pretty much is. It's going on that stereotype. Hey, they look young for long periods of time. But that's the point I'm trying to get across. The wide eyes are not meant to make fun of the Westerners. It is to show a character being friendly. They are naturally more friendly. They have a friendly personality. That's all. Now that I've covered all of that and dealt with the Cuties debacle, I'm going to go and rinse my mouth out because dealing with the Cuties thing made me throw up a couple times in my mouth and it did not taste good. It's disgusting. I'm Double R. I'm out. And that's somewhat current time. Yay me! I did it in less than a month. Woo!